My name is Summer Breeze. Thank you for dropping by the Mental Health Discussion and Poetry channel. I'm recording this on a Sunday, and every Sunday I lead a writers club. I lead a writers club. It's a handful of people. We get together and we write every Sunday. And we write in our little notebooks and we write 2 or 3 pages and come back next week and write another 2 or 3 pages and come back the next week and write another 2 or 3 pages. Well, I have now 2 notebooks full of little vignettes. And I was like, wow. I mean, there are essays in here, there are poems in here, and it's all depending on what the topic was for that Sunday. We have writing prompts, and you write on the given prompt if you're inspired to do so. And now I got quite the collection. I think that's pretty neat. And I wanted to show that to you. I wanted to show that to you. Who knows? I keep this up. I have a nice collection that maybe I can put it together, categorize it, sort it through it, and turn it into a memoir. You know, for those of you who are thinking of writing a book, how about writing a little something every week? Now, I have a confession to make. And that confession is that I don't write in between the Writers Club. I don't write on my own, very rarely. And I visit writers' sites and visit author sites and writers' tips, and they all say the best way to learn how to write is to write. And they suggest that you get into the writing habit and write something every single day. Get into that discipline. All the best authors say that. I don't do that. I haven't gotten into that habit yet. But I do show up at the Writers Club every Sunday. So though I don't write every day, I write regularly. And I think that's the key. Writing regularly. And I'm building up a collection slowly. Slowly but surely. So I wanted to mention that. That's a writing tip for all you aspiring writers out there. Find a community of writers. It may help. Okay? The second thing I wanted to say is, yes, I've been pretty bummed out the last couple of days, just thinking about having Tourette's disorder and thinking about how it's becoming more and more active and kind of bleeding through, you know, in my everyday life. Because prior to this, all my life, from a teenager on, it's always been my little secret. I let the tics out when I got home, and it waxed and waned, and more often than not, it waned, you know. But now it's coming out in public, and it's a bummer because I'm thinking it's going to get worse and worse and turn into full-blown Tourette's instead of the mild case that I've been living with. So today, at work, which is during the Writers Club, there were tics, there were twitches. People did notice, but they didn't say anything. And I was able to kind of keep it subtle. So we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. If I'm able to keep the twitches and the movements subtle, where they're not too obvious, but they were obvious. People were just being polite. So this is something I'm going to have to get used to. One of the things that I was doing that I don't like is when I would have that little twitch, you know, an involuntary movement in my mind, I would curse because it's involuntary and I hate it. And I'd be like, damn, shit. You know, that's what I'd say in my head. And I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. I want to be in a better place. When I have an involuntary movement or something happens, I want to be able to say something like, well, that happened. You know, that's what I want to say inside my head. You know, have a little involuntary twitch, and I'll be able to say, that happened. And happens again, I'll be like, wow, it happened again. I would love to be there. I'm not there yet, you know. Happens the third time, I'll say something like, it's going to be one of those days. You know? But I'm working on it. I'm working on it. This is, even though I've been living with a mild case, it's new to me. It's new to me. I've never really had to deal with it face on. And now I'm going to have to deal with it face on. So you're going to hear about this subject for me because that's what's on my mind and that's what I'm going through. You'll hear about writing. You'll hear about Tourette's. Thank you for your patience. I'm glad you're there. I'm glad you're listening. Hey, get to writing, you know, and let me know. Let me know how things are going for you. Those of you who are poets, those of you who are authors, author wannabes, want to tell your story, let me know what you're doing, what writing tips you have. How are you getting into the habit of writing? And love to hear from you. Leave a comment down below. Thank you very much. Take care.